Hi everybody, it's Tamara with your February 2024 forecast video and energies video. This month we've got 6 main things we're going to talk about. Okay, now if you've watched me for a while, you know sometimes my peeps come in and give us a little more, but there was 6 that they kind of gave me to start with. The first one is grief and honoring your own process. Their next one is going to be downloads and changes. Then snowballing energies, listening to your intuition and why we can't always know or see all the details that we want to see. Coming together, and then a little bit about Mother Earth herself. Okay, so with this grief thing, now I'm a medium, so I work with many people, of course, who are grieving and want to contact with their loved ones. And there's so much judgment or perceived judgment around grief. And we sometimes people tell us we shouldn't be grieving still, or sometimes we tell ourselves we shouldn't still be grieving, we should get on with our life. And it's such a personal process. Now, through January was kind of a rough month for me. I was processing all kinds of things, and I felt grief, just heavy grief, well up multiple times, okay? I did probably half of the one-on-one readings that I normally do, and that's fine. My peeps always kind of help me out with my schedule, which is kind of cool. But anyway, yeah, it could be because I'm coming up to, in February, the 5-year anniversary of my husband's passing. I suspect that's what it is, but in January, I just allowed myself to feel through it. I had many pajama and couch days. I had days where I just cried for 2 hours for no reason. And it's important, if you find that you're going through something like this, don't judge yourself. Like I say, grief is just bizarre, and it'll hit you at the weirdest times. And if you've lost somebody, you've lost somebody. They're gone until you cross over. So honor your grief. I know a few things I did is I did random little puttering around things, like no major plans, but I would just think, okay, I'm going to move this thing over here. I'm going to dust that, just because I wanted to keep moving a little bit. I went for a few walks, extra walks. I walk anyway, but a few extra walks. I did a bit of a cleanse because I figured, well, if I'm feeling like crap and I'm not working very much anyway, what a great time to do a cleanse, right? So if you find that grief is just popping up, don't judge yourself, all right? It needs to come up, and it needs to come through, right? We don't want to hold on to it because it can make us physically ill if we push it down or pretend it isn't there. All right, so peeps just wanted to mention that, and I think it's important because a lot of you, like I say, who watch me, watch because you've lost somebody. Okay, so for our next subject for February is the downloads and the changes, all right? So we're going to have so many downloads and so many like forward movement and changes, okay? I know I mentioned in my January video the need for us to be brave, and I'll say the same thing for the energies in February, okay? There will be changes, absolutely. If your life is the same at the end of February and nothing's changed, it would be a miracle, okay? There will be changes. Some of them will be shocking, okay? This doesn't mean it's bad necessarily, okay? I've heard quite a few astrologers saying, oh, bad stuff's going to happen. And it's like, maybe. Is it good? Is it bad? Maybe it is. Maybe it's not, right? Sometimes shocking or changes that we think feel bad are actually good, right? Think of all the times in your life where something happened and you were in the moment, it was a really bad thing, or you had to grieve something. And then if you look back from where you are now, it was actually a really good thing and it happened. Okay. So there's that. But as my peeps had said with the downloads, right, we could have shockingly good things happen too, right? Like where a door just opens wide up and we could just go for it. We will find that a lot of things that were at their breaking point will break away, okay? Especially in the middle of the month, okay? So if there's something been going on and you've just about had it, it'll probably leave in the middle of the month, or you'll walk away in the middle of the month. And that could be with anything, jobs, relationships, whatever subject, right? It's not really limited to a subject. There's also the chance that things that you've been brewing or thinking about could break through in the middle of the month, right? Something you've been thinking about forever, and finally it's coming to fruition, and you can actually shockingly see results from all the work you've been doing for years, okay? And that's why I want to stress it doesn't have to be bad shocks. It could be really good shocks, right? Where think overnight success of somebody who's been working for 40 years, right? So that could be a thing. I will say if there's things that you've been thinking about for doing for a long time, February is a really good month to start doing them. All the planets will be direct, and that always kind of frees us up just a little bit, like helps us with that forward movement and doing what we came here to do. Okay, so the next subject is snowballing energies and momentum. So if you've had a reading from me before, or multiple, what comes up is energies can snowball, right? So it's like if we have, like in the past, we'd have, let's say, a negative thought or something, right? And we would get more angrier, and it would snowball and it would snowball and snowball till we were at our breaking point and we said, enough is enough, right? So energies snowball. But what we're finding and what I'm noticing and my peeps are saying is that we're at this point of snowballing, but with positive energies, okay? So the more we focus on this positive, there's this snowball and it's getting bigger and bigger and bigger as it's rolling down the hill, right? So try and keep your thoughts, your focus, the things that you're doing in your life on this positive trajectory, because humanity is just snowballing this thing, and it's gonna roll right over everything in its path, okay? But it's light, so that's really cool. Like it's light. So anyway, when we snowball this positive energy, the negative energy can't be there. And I don't know, my peeps, and me personally, I'm kind of excited about this because it's starting and it's just getting bigger. The next subject they wanted me to talk about was listening to your intuition and why we can't always know or see all the details. Okay. Now, I was doing a reading for a client the other day, and they asked me a question that normally I'd be able to see the answer. All right. And it was like a future thing. Now, when I do readings, I don't tell people that I'm a fortune teller and I see the future and all of that, because it's very individual, okay? But oftentimes I could see where somebody's headed, and I could see what they're creating, and I could see the future thing, okay? Now, other times I simply can't. It's like, well, you're still in the process of creating it, changing it, whatever. However, after this reading I had with this person, I asked my peeps for a little more specificity around that. Like, why couldn't I see that thing? Because the thing she asked me was normally really easy for me to see. And for some reason, I couldn't see it that day. And so they kind of channeled some stuff through me, and I just wrote it down with a pen. And I have it written down, and I'm going to share exactly verbatim what they said to me, okay? They said, knowing will slow us down on our journey, especially if it is a growth or healing journey. If we choose to go through something, like our higher self, like before we're born, we chose to go through something, we need to go through it without attachment of exactly how it will end up. We need to trust that we will end up exactly where our soul intended us to be. This often means trusting the process and feeling it all before we can move forward from where we are. So I wanted to share that because that's exactly, like say, I wrote it down verbatim what my peeps said. And that's what they said about when we can't get the details around our intuition, right? Like, I don't know. A year before my husband was diagnosed, my peeps told me, you need to get ready to sell your house and get into a place that's kind of cheaper and that you could afford easily or even on your own or whatever, right? And so we started that process, had the house on the market for 6 months, and it never did sell, right? Which was actually to our benefit, because it was like 5 months later where he was diagnosed. But when he was diagnosed, I understood the message of selling the home the year before. It would not have been helpful for me to know all of the details. It wouldn't have been helpful for me to know he was going to be sick, or I would have tried to stop it. I would have tried to manipulate it, things like that. Okay. So sometimes we're not meant to know the details with our intuition. We just need to get that nudge to move something, buy something, sell something, do something, put something out, pull something back, and we just need to trust the process, okay? Now I've used something rather dramatic as an example, but it can often be good things too, very positive things, where you're not going to know the details. You just have to kind of give her and trust, all right? So listen to your intuition this month a lot and take the actions, even if they're scary. Okay, so if you're still watching, can you subscribe to my channel? There's hundreds of you that watch my videos that aren't subscribed. So if you subscribe and then hit the like button, that's kind of helpful for my channel. Inspires me. Okay, so the next subject is coming together, all right? So we need to start coming together more in person, all right? There's... a lot of lonely people out there, and we need to start coming together in person. Some of you are worried about censorship or how mean people are online or stuff like that. And it's like, in person, okay? Find your people. I've mentioned this for months in these videos. It's like you need to find your people, your clan. And it's like, if you're distrustful of people, you need to do your some inner work. You need to heal yourself and get more trusting, okay? There are people for you out there. I talk to thousands of people every year, and there's way more similar people to you than you know, okay? There are people out there. Don't judge them, right? Often our egos get in the way and we start judging people, and we judge them that they're going to be mean to us, right? And that's not fair either. Why don't we heal up and trust that humanity is good and that there's thousands or billions of wonderful people on the planet? We will see more of them. We will, back to that snowball thing, we will see what we expect to see. If our heart is all hardened and we go out in public blocked off, hard, like just hard, we can't meet people, okay? We repel people. We repel people who are loving, and we attract people who have hardened hearts. Like attracts like, okay? So do what you need to do to kind of just enlighten yourself, heal yourself, see if you can get more trusting, and meet your people. We need to get together in person. Okay, I got a little bit of notes around here, but I'm going to read what I wrote down lest I kind of go on and on about this, okay? It's what I wrote down for this subject is it's time to get away from so much media, social and otherwise. Limit your time online to empowering things, okay? So find people online that empower you. Watch empowering videos, okay? Not these doom and gloom and the world is going to hell kind of videos, okay? Not media groups or whatever where there's comments where people are being mean to each other and saying the world is awful, okay? Stay away from those. It impacts your vibration, all right? The way, when I write it down, it's because this is how my peeps gave it to me, and that's why I'm reading this, so that I can stay out of the way. Sometimes we just need to heal and have trust. Trust that we will find our people. Trust that if we meet someone and they aren't for us, we will know very quickly. And when we know very quickly, it doesn't have to be because they're mean. It'll be a vibrational thing and we will feel it. And we do not need to judge them. We do not need to feel judged. We just need to know that this person is not for me, all right? Now, the ego wants everyone to like us. They want everybody to be like us, but not everyone will be, and we will need to be okay with that. If people don't like us, that's okay. Okay, get out of your ego and go back to love. The more you put yourself out there with love, that's the stress, with love, the more people you will find who are just like you. There's bazillions, okay? So think on that. Think on finding people who are just like you, or who are different than you, that complement you. Okay, I got to say this because, I mean, we're not all going to be identical, right? Me and my husband we were way similar in so many ways, and so night and day in so many other ways, right? Like vibrationally, we worked, right? And so when it's like find people like you, it's vibrationally, okay? They could have completely different job or live in a completely different kind of place, but vibrationally, they're like you. Okay, and the last thing that my peeps were telling me about was Mother Earth, okay? Now, I did mention, I think in December and January, and this is going to continue apparently because I'm getting it for this month too, okay? Lots of shifts and changes with Mother Earth, okay? So water's coming up again and earth shifting. So that can be volcanoes, earthquakes, erosion, right? This is all earth shifting. So we don't personally have to kind of worry about it. But once again, if you're listening to your intuition and something says, oh, you should be over there instead of over here, listen to it. Maybe you'll avoid something, right? That otherwise could have impacted you, right? So we can't stop her from shifting and growing, all right? Nothing, we can't. She does this. She's been doing it for billions of years, and she's going to continue to do it. And for humans to think that they can change or keep coastlines the same, or, you know, keep Mother Earth from doing her shifts and her changes, like it's crazy. Like, we can't. Okay, it's too big. Okay, think of Mother Earth as being the tree and the humans as being the leaves. Okay, so Mother Earth peoples just like trees leave, right? And the leaves can't impact what the tree is going through. All right, but we can, and I was told this really, really clearly from my peeps, all right, is that with our vibrations, when we keep our vibration high, and if we think about that snowball effect and all of these things, we can actually assist Mother Earth through this process. They told me for her, it's like she is giving birth, all right? I thought this was so cool when my peeps were sharing it with me. It's like Mother Earth is giving birth, and she's shifting and she's changing and she's doing all of these things. And our vibration will make a difference. I do not know how. They didn't share that how with me. We don't always need to know the how or the details of everything. Just that our high vibration will assist her. If she gets assistance, we get assistance, right? We work in conjunction with each other. So do take care of what you could take care of, right? Like litter, plastics, like wastefulness. There's many things we could do to assist the earth. And if there's something that you can do easily, just do it, right? We just can't manipulate it past a certain, like, we can try. They're trying. It's not going to work. I think the more we try and keep her the same, the bigger of a shock we're going to be in for when she needs to change, right? Like, it's like, my peeps are showing me that, like, us trying to keep Mother Earth the same is like pushing down a big spring, okay? And we're pushing it down, and pretty soon it's just going to go boing, right? So, yeah, and our vibration can help with that. So keep your vibe high. Go for love. Send love. Do visualizations around love for Mother Earth. We wouldn't be here without her. Yeah. So anyway, I think that's all the subjects we have for this month. And I really hope that it was helpful for you. Don't forget to hit the like. If you're still here, you seriously should hit the subscribe button and at least like my video. And please, if you've noticed any of this stuff that's going on, leave me a comment. I get back to everybody. Takes me a day or two sometimes, but I do. I get back to everybody, and I would love, love, love to hear your experiences around everything we've talked about today. So till next time, much love.